Okay. After recording, just share it with Mahesh.
Okay, Mahesh, right?
Link you have to share.
Okay. Okay, so hello, am I audible? Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Can anyone confirm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so like how many of you have watched the week two content? Just raise your hand. Okay, I can see very few people. Okay, just two, three. Yeah. So deadline is I guess on Sunday. So please watch the lectures and submit the graded assignment. Okay. So you have to submit a graded assignment. It's a mandatory thing that you have to do. So 19th is the last date for week 2. Okay. So what we are going to do in today's session is that first I will discuss the week 2 content. Okay, I will quickly go through what we have discussed in week 2, and then if you have any doubt, then we can ask from practice question or assignment or activity assignment, right? Okay. Okay. So let me share my screen now. Is my screen visible? Hello. Yeah, like if you have any doubt, you can unmute and ask. Okay. So it's an online class. So like I would like to be interactive session, right? So if you have any doubt, if you didn't understand what I am saying, okay, you can simply unmute yourself and ask. Okay. Okay, great. So this is visible, right? Can anyone confirm?
Yes, sir, it is
Yes, sir.
visible.
Okay, great. So in week 1, we have discussed about different things. Like we have just started the computation thinking course, and all the questions in week 1 is based on the data set. Okay, so you must have watched the lectures where professor has playing some cards and they have discussed the concept. So all the cards and all the data set are available inside the common data set folder. So if you go to your portal, you can see general instructions, right? So in that, about the course section, you can see common data set. Okay, so you just need to refer to that particular data set. Okay, let me show you that also. And there is one update, I guess. In week 1 grade assignment, there was one question, the image is wrongly displayed, right? One of the question, image was not correct, I guess. So we'll give marks to everyone for that question, so don't worry about it. So course introduction, common data set, right? Yeah. So all the shopping bill data set is there, trend data set is there. So whatever the professor has discussed in the lecture, all the data set is present here, right? Now let us discuss about the week 2 concept now. So first thing is that what is iteration? When I say iteration, what does this iteration mean? It's basically a repetition of a process. Okay. For example, I have one bin or container like this, and I have card store here. Okay. Number of cards are there in this particular container, right? So what I am doing, I'm taking one card and counting it and storing it in another bin that is empty first, right? Like this. Again, I'm doing the same thing. Again, I'm taking one particular card. I'm counting this, and again, I'm storing in another bin. Okay. Suppose, for example, this is bin 1 and this is bin 2. Okay. Again, I'm doing the same thing again and again. Again, I'm taking third card. I'm counting it and storing it in a bin 2. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I'm repeating the process again and again, right? Same thing I'm doing here. So this is what iteration is. Okay. Now, what about termination in iteration? Okay. For example, same example we'll take. I have a bin 1, right? Let me write it down here. Now, what I have done previously, I have simply counted the card, okay, and store it in different bin here, empty bin here. But what I am doing, suppose I want to find out the card from Chennai, okay, so city equals to Chennai. So in that case, what I will do, I will take out one card. I will check whether city equals to Chennai or not. If it is equals to Chennai, then I will put the card in this particular container. Okay. So if you see what I'm talking about, so this is basically this data set, score data set, right? So let me take one card here first. So here you can see one card we have. So name is given, gender is given, date of birth is given, town and city, Salem, right? So I am taking first card here. The town city is Salem. So I don't want this card. I will not store it in second bin. Okay, I will not count it, right? I will just move it to a second bin directly. I want a card from Chennai. That's it. Once I found a card from Chennai, I want to stop this particular iteration. Okay, so there is one thing. I can terminate this iteration only when this particular condition is false. False means when this bin will become empty, then the iteration will get stopped, or I will put some condition such that this particular iteration will get stopped. For example, I just want a card from a Chennai city, right? So if I found this particular card, I will store it in a bin, I will count it. That's it. That's it. What I want, right? I just want a card from Chennai. That's it. I got my requirement complete, right? So then I want to stop this particular iteration. So how you will do in this case? So first you need to check whether the card is from Chennai or not. If the card is from Chennai, then you need to stop this particular iteration process. Okay. So same thing we have given here. That is basically conditional termination. Okay. So first thing is that termination in iteration. It means whenever this bin gets empty, or suppose I have this particular table and have number of rows like this. I am going through row by row. When all the rows will get complete, the iteration will get stopped. Or if I found such row which satisfy my some particular condition, then I can stop that particular iteration. That is basically a conditional termination. Okay, it will stop the iteration when a desired specific data is found. For example, I want a card from Chennai, so I got that particular card. I want to stop that particular iteration. Okay. So any doubt up till now, whatever I have discussed, what is iteration, what is termination condition, what is conditional termination, right? Anyone, any question?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So let us take this particular example, right? So what this pseudocode is doing here? So this is basically a pseudocode, right? It is not the exact code that will run in any compiler. This is simply pseudocode, right? So we can convert this into a Python or C language, whatever we want. So this is simply pseudocode we are doing. Okay. So what we have done here, we have one variable. So this is variable A equals to true. Variable means what? Yes, anyone tell me what is variable? We have discussed this.
Sir, anything that changes.
Anything that changes. No.
A quantity that can be changed or a value that can be changed.
Yeah. So variable is a thing that its corresponding value can be changed in the particular process, right? For example, A is true at line number 1. Now here A is becoming false at line number 5 or 6, right? So that is basically a variable. Okay. Now what is happening here? See, we have a while loop. Okay. So first, let us discuss about what is while loop, what is if, and what is if else. Okay. So then I will come back to this particular code. So first, we'll discuss about the if statement. Okay. If statement. So what this if block will work? Suppose I have this if condition. If in bracket I have some condition. Okay. If this condition is true, then I am going to execute this code block. Okay. So I have if statement in which I have a condition. If this condition is true, then only I can execute this code block. Otherwise, I will not execute. I will quickly go to a next line. Suppose here is the next line of code. Okay, I will skip this particular code of block when this particular condition is false. I will only execute when this particular condition is true. For example, I will check if A is greater than 3 or not. Okay, and then I will do, for example, then I will say B equals to B plus A. Okay. Suppose my value of A is 5 in any of the iterations. So I will check whether A is greater than 3 or not. But what is the value of A here? The value of A is 5, that is greater than 3. Now this condition is true, right? If this condition is true, then only I'm going to execute this one. Let's suppose initial value of B is basically 1. So the value of B will be B equals to 1 plus 5, that is basically 6. When I say value of A is basically 2. Now at this particular point, 2 is not greater than 3. So I am not going to execute this line of block. I will simply go to a next statement here. Okay. So this is what simple if a statement is. Anyone, any doubt in this particular thing, if statement?
No, sir.
Okay, great.
No, sir.
So do you know about the flow chart? What are we have discussed,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay. So if I want to represent this in terms of flow chart, what I can do that? Like how I can do that?
Sir, we can put that diagonal box and then put true and false statements and then represent them.
Yeah. So first I will start. Then I have to go to a diagonal box. Here's I will make a decision, that is basically condition. Okay. If this condition is true, then what I have to do?
Then we have to execute.
Yeah. Then execute the code, right? If this condition is false, then stop the process. We don't need to do. Then we can simply say stop, right? Like this. Stop. Okay. So this is how if statement will work. Simple one. Now I can have multiple condition also. For example, here I just have a greater than 3. Okay. I can have a greater than 3 and for example b greater than 2. Okay. Then I will use the input value of a and b. Now how this particular condition will become true? Suppose if a is greater than 3 and b greater than 2. Now this entire condition must be true. Okay, so here first condition a greater than 3. Then I have second condition b greater than 2. My entire condition must be true. Then only I can execute this block. For example, the value of a is 5 and the value of b is 1. Now whether this condition is true, can I execute this block b equals to b plus a? Can I execute this block for this particular thing?
No, sir.
No, because 5 is greater than 3. That is basically true. But here 1 is not greater than 2. And means both the condition must be true. Then only entire thing will be true, right? So this is what and thing is this. So in 11th, you must have learned about this logical equivalence. Do you know about truth table? And an or truth table, do you know? In 11th
Yes,
standard,
sir.
we have that, right? So let me go through that quickly. So let us discuss first about and table, right? I have a two condition A and B. Now this particular condition will be true only when both A and B are true. If any one of the A and B is false, then A and B will be false, right? Now what about or statement? Or is basically what? If any one of the condition is true, then this is true. Here you can see true is basically true. True or false is basically true. False or true is basically true. But false and false is basically a false, right? So this thing you need to remember, okay? Because in a question or in exam you can see multiple conditions. So you must be aware about when this condition will become true or not, right? So this is about and or operator. Anyone, any doubt up till now, whatever we have discussed?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
great. Now we have discussed about the if block. Now let us discuss about if else block. Okay. So in the if block, if this condition is false, then I will simply go to next line. I don't need to do anything, right? But what if I want to do some any other thing if this condition is false? For example, this is if else statement, right? If else. So first I have if block, that is condition is there, right? Then I will execute this code 1. Then else I will execute this code 2. Okay, code 1, code 2. Now when this particular condition is true, so when condition equals to true, we need to execute this code 1. Okay, execute code 1. When the condition is false, okay, so simple, if this is false, else will do this particular thing. Okay, if condition is false, in that case what we need to do, execute the code 2. Okay, so if else statement will work like this, right? So suppose this condition is true, then code 1 will execute. If condition is false, then code 2 will execute. In the case of if block, we don't have any other operations to do when the condition is false, right? But in the if else block, we have a condition, we have a code. If that particular condition is false, then I can do this particular thing. Okay. So this is simply what if else thing is. Anyone any doubt in if else block? How the flowchart will look like? First, I will start the process. Okay. Then, yes. Anyone raise their hand? Okay. Great. So first we start the process. Then I have a condition here. Okay. Condition. Now, if this condition is true, what I am going to do? Execute the code 1, right? Code 1. If this condition is false, what I need to do? Execute the code 2, right? And then after that, I will stop the process, right? So this is what the flowchart of if else will look like. Okay, I think this is clear to everyone. Now, one more important thing, while loop. Okay, that is looping statement. Can anyone tell me about the while loop? What do you understand by while loop? Yes, anyone?
So does it mean infinite loop?
Does it?
So does it mean infinite loop?
Not infinite loop. We don't want infinite loop.
Sir, while staying in the loop.
What? Can you repeat again?
Sir, while staying in the loop, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Suppose I want to do some process again and again, right? For example, this thing, if you see if and if else, I am just going through once, right? For one particular card, I'm going through once, but I want to check for all the cards. In that case, what I need to do, I need to go through entire cards. For example, the example I took earlier. So here you can see I'm taking one card, taking city equals to Chennai. Then I am just counting how many cards are from Chennai. Okay, so I just want count of Chennai cards. Okay, Chennai card. So what I will do, if city equals to Chennai, what I will do, a equals to a plus 1. For example, a initialized to 0, right? That's it. If city is equals to Chennai, I'm just simply counting the card. Okay, but this is for only one card. I need to do for all the cards in the container. So what I will do, I need to repeat the process again and again for all the cards, right? Now this is where while loop will come. While loop will come here. So here you can see this entire code here. Okay, so if I want to do a process again and again, that is okay. So iterating through some condition. So that is what a while loop is. Okay, so for example, let's take one example for let's say I have a variable I initialized to 0. Then I have n equals to say for example 3, and I am saying while I is less than or equals to n, then increment I equals to I plus 1. Okay. So what this is doing? So first thing is that I equals to 0. So 0 is less than 3. Yes, it is true. If this is true, then I will execute this. So what is the value of I here? The value of I will become 0. Initial value of I is 0 plus the current value of I is what? 0 only. So 0, 0. That is basically a 0. Okay, wait. I will start iteration with 0 plus 1. It will be a 1, right? Now the value of I is 1. So I need to repeat entire process again unless this particular condition is false. Okay. So when this condition is false, then only I can exit the while loop. Once you have entered the while loop, you cannot exit unless this particular condition is false. So in the first iteration, the value of I is basically 0. Now here it get updated to 1. Then I again go for a while loop. Now in the second iteration, the value of I is what? 1, not 0. Now 1 is less than or equals to 3. Yes, that is true. Again, I equals to what? I, the previous value of I is 1. So 1 plus 1 is basically 2. So now the value of I is 2. Again, I will go to a while loop here. Again, we'll check 2 is less than or equals to 3. Yes, that is true. Again, the value of I will be what? 2 plus 1, that is basically 3. Again, it will get updated the value of I. So again, I need to go for a while condition. Again, here 3 is less than or equals to 3. Yes, 3 is equals to 3. And again, I will do the I equals to 3 plus 1, that is basically a 4, right? Again, I will go for a while loop. Now here you can see 4 is less than equals to 3. Now this condition is false, right? This is false, right? So this condition is false, then the while loop will get terminated here. I will go with the next line of code, right? So at the end of execution of while loop, the value of I is basically what? 3 is there, right? So I am going to do this particular process again and again whenever this condition is true. Okay, so this condition will become false, then only I can stop the iteration, or I can come to a while loop, right? Otherwise, what happens in some code, if you write a condition in such a way that this condition is always true, it always true, in that case my while loop will go to infinite loop, right? It will keep running the same thing, right? So my code will not execute, right? My system will not work there because it is going to infinite loop, right? So that we need to avoid. Okay, so this about the while loop. Anyone any doubt in while loop?
No, sir.
Also.
Okay, so let me quickly draw a flow chart here. So this is thing, I will start the process. Then I have a conditional here. For example, I is less than equals to n. If this is false, what I need to do? If this is true, what I need to do? If this is false, then simply I need to end the process, right? End process. But what else if this is true? In that case, what I need to do? I need to increment the value of I equals to I plus 1. And again, go back to this particular code, right? Like this. So here I will check with the value of, I will increment the value of I, then I will again increase the value of I here. I will check for this condition. Again, this is true. Again, I will go through the same process. So what we are doing here, we are repeating the same process again, unless this particular condition is false. If this is false, then I will end the while loop. Okay. So this is what we have discussed: if else block and while loop. So these three things are very important for your city course, like first 4 week is there. So yeah, this thing we are going to discuss in detail. So you must be very clear about how if block will work, how if else will work, and how while loop will work. Okay. Now coming back to this particular code here. Now here what is we are doing? A equals to true. Okay. So we have initialized the variable A equals to true, while pile 1 has more card. Suppose this is pile 1 and having the card, right? And A is equals to true. So value of A is true. So in the pile I have a card that is basically true. The value of A is basically true. If this is true, then what I will do? I will read the card X. I will check whether city equals to Chennai or not. If it is equals to Chennai, then I will set A to false. If it is not equals to Chennai, then I will go to this line. I will move this card to pile number 2. Then I will again go for a next iteration. Then I will take one more card. And the value of A is still true here because city is not Chennai. What suppose city is Chennai? In that case, what will happen? Tell me. Yes, anyone? Yes, anyone? Suppose I have a card from Chennai. What will happen in this particular code? If this is
Sir, it will show true and it move to pile 2.
yeah, if this is true, it means the value of A will get changed to false, right? It is a variable, right? If this condition is true, if the card is from Chennai, then the value of A will get changed to false, right? And then I will move that particular card to next pile. Now, if I go for a next iteration, what will happen here? I have a more card in this particular pile 1, and this A is false basically, right? So this is true and this is false. So true and false will be false, right? So I will terminate the process here because my condition is not true. This is because I just want a card from Chennai. That's it. If a card is from Chennai, then I will set A to false, right? So this is how we can write a pseudo code. Suppose if you want to check for a particular student, right? For example, you just want a card of Rita, okay? So what you can do, you can just simply change x dot name equals to Rita. That's it. Because you just interested in this particular card, okay? So when this particular condition is true, set A to false, this process will stop, right? Because you don't know where the card of Rita will be, at the first number or at the last, right? So you need to go through entire all the cards, right, for to check whether the card belongs to Rita or not, right? So this is where while loop will come into picture. And if it's just a conditional statement, if you want to see some particular condition or if you want to filter the card, then you can apply the if else block. Okay. Okay. So anyone any doubt in if else, while loop, or whatever I have discussed up till now?
Sir, what if there are 3 conditions?
Okay, if there are 3 conditions, then the truth table will be same for that also. Okay, for example, A greater than 3 and B greater than 2 and C, for example, less than 5. So all the 3 conditions must be true for AND clause. Okay, if all 3 conditions are true, then only entire condition will become true. If any one of the condition is false in the case of AND, then in that case, entire condition is false, right? Same thing for OR also. Instead of AND, it is OR. Or if any one of the condition is true, then it is true. Okay. But what if this thing A greater than 3 and B greater than 2 or C less than 5? Now tell me when this particular condition will become false. Entire thing will become false. When?
Sir, when all of it is false.
When all of it's false, is it necessary that all must be false?
Yes, sir.
What if A is true and B is false? In that case, A and B will be false, right? Or C will be true. So it's not necessary that all the things will be false. A can be true and B can be false, but true and false will be false, right? Or this should be false. So false or false will give me false, but either any one of A and B must be false, right?
Yes, got it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's it from my side. Anyone, any doubt in week 2? You can ask. Anyone of the question?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
In the activity question 7, like the 2.7, the non-graded one, there is
Okay.
a question which says, let there be n cards in the pile. Assume that the pile is arranged in ascending order of total marks so that the total marks in any given card is always less than the total marks in the card immediately below it. Assume that no 2 cards have the same total marks, and how many times will the variable max card be updated if we execute the above program? The answer says n, but I don't understand how n comes.
Okay. So it is question number 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me share my screen. So you understand the first question, right?
Yes, sir. I understood the first question.
Okay. So is my screen visible?
Not yet, sir. Yes, sir.
Just
Now
to-
it is.
Okay, great. So let's go through first question.
Sir,
first.
the screen is not visible.
No, these 2 questions, can you see what I'm writing?
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir. Now it's bit. Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. So let max marks be a variable that keeps a track of maximum total marks in the score data set. Okay. let max card be a variable that tracks the index of a card which has the maximum total marks. Okay. With we write a procedure similar to one given the lecture to determine the maximum total marks and index of card corresponding to it. If max marks is updated n times during the execution, how many times the max card will update it? Assume that no two cards have the same marks. Okay, so we need to assume that we don't have the same card. For example, I have a 5 cards. Let us take 5 cards only, and we know that no two cards are the same marks, right? And the total mark is what? For example, this is total mark. Okay, this is out of 300, right? So it is 200, 250, 180, and again I have 290, and then for example 180, right? So out of this 5 card, we know that like we can see directly that 280 is maximum. But how many times we need to check this particular? How many times max card will get updated? And what is max card here? The variable that will track the index of a card which has maximum total marks, right? So what I need to do here, first I will take one card, I will check the maximum marks. Okay, so if you see a pseudo code, there will be some variable max marks initialized to what? Equals to 0, right? If 0 is less than x dot total mark, right? Again I will say x dot total mark equals to, sorry, total mark equals to x dot total mark, right? So total mark, so TM stand for total mark, okay, plus to x dot total mark. So what will happen here if I just go through all the process, because I need to go through all the cards, because I don't know at what position I have the maximum card, right? Maximum marks. I need to go through entire data set, right? So first I will go for 200. So 0 is less than 200. Is I will store the value of TM as 200, right? Again, I will go for next iteration and it is 250. So this will be TM, right? So 200 is less than 250. Yes, it is less than 250. Then I will update this 200 to 250. Again, I will go for next item, that is 180, right? But when it is less than 250, no, that is not true. Then I will not update the card, right? So in this case, if I keep doing the repetition, so what this max card will store, that tracks the index of a card, right? Which has the maximum total marks. Tell me, because we are given max marks update n times, right? If it is updated n times, then how the max card will update it? Max card will be equals to x dot max card, right? So for one time, second time, this time it is not updated because this condition is false. Then I will go for a next iteration, that is 290. Okay, so 290, so 250 is less than 290. Yes, that is true. Then I will update this 250 to 290 and max card to this particular 4 number 1, right? So in this case, number of times I'm updating this particular TM, that much number of times I need to update max card, right? So here answer will be n. Hello, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So your doubt is in question number 2 now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there will be n, this capital N card in the piles. Okay. Assume that pile is arranged in ascending order of total marks. So the same thing we'll do. Instead of n, we have 5 cards. Okay. Let's see 5 cards we have, and ascending of total mark, right? So total marks is, for example, 290. Then we have 250, 200. 180, 180. Okay, let's say this is 190. So 190 and 180. Okay. So the total marks is this visible? This font is visible to you, right? How to zoom? This is visible, right? This statement.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let there be n cards in the pile. Assume that the pile is ascending order total marks. So that the total marks is given any card is always less than total marks, right? So this will be true, right? Because if it is in ascending order, so next card will be always less than the previous card total marks, right? Assuming that no two cards have the same total marks, okay. How many times will variable max card be updated if we execute the above program? Okay. So what we need to check here? Yeah. Wasn't that how many times the variable max card will get updated if you execute the above program, right? Oh, sorry. So this should be in ascending order, right? Let me write it down here again. Zoom out. Ascending order. So this will be 180, 190, then we have 200, then we have 250, then we have 290. Ascending order means I will get a maximum card at the last only, right? Always. So if there are n cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in this case, 5s. So I need to go through all the data set to find out the value of that particular card, right? So value will be always n because the card having the maximum marks will always be at the last, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this will be an answer here. So what is your doubt in question? In this question?
No, this like I was able to understand why it's n, but then the consecutive question of what is the correct relation between n, a small n and capital N, that doesn't like make sense when I read it as a question.
No, no. Yeah. Because these two are different questions, right? So in the
Yeah,
first, yeah.
but the third question is a part of this question.
Okay. Let
So
me read the third question.
yeah.
So based on the answers from the above two questions, what is the correct relationship between n and n, right? Now you tell me.
I first put n is equal to n, but I don't get why the answer says the small n is lesser than or equal to capital N.
Okay, I will tell you. For example, here we have a specific condition. We have assumed that the pile is arranged in ascending order of total marks, right? So in this case, my maximum card will be always at the last, that is basically n, right? This
Yes,
is clear,
sir.
this question number 2. But here we don't have such condition ascending or descending order, right? My maximum card will be at the first position also. For example, 290 can be first position also, and 290 can be the last position also, right? So if it is at the last position, then it will be equals to n. If this card 290 is at the last, for example, at the 5, then the
Yes,
value
sir.
of n will be this one, right?
Yes.
If it is arranged in this particular order, right? Or anyway, this will be a less than n because this is specific condition because this will be always at the last. So n will be always be less than this one only, less than or equals to this one.
Okay, so now I understand.
Yeah, because this card can be present anywhere in the data set, right? At the last also, at the first also. Okay. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is what the relation between n and capital N is. So anyone, any doubt in any one of the question?
Sir, I
So,
have
sir,
a
I have
doubt
a
in
doubt.
last week's assignment. Can I ask graded assignment?
Last week 1, yes. Which
Sir, I
question?
have a doubt in the fifth question, sir.
The fifth question, I think, yeah. Image is different there, right?
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
Let me check. Yeah. Yeah, there is some issue with the portal, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, so is it a mistake?
Yes, it is a mistake. Let me check the question number 5. Yeah. So given information have some mistake with respect to sanity of data. That question, right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, the image got changed actually. So image should be different. So this is a different image. So everyone will get marks for this particular question. This question is wrong because image is different here.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. If you want, just scroll down. Let me see a sanity of, yeah. Question number 9 is similar to that question number 5 only. Okay. So if you understand question number 9, then the correct picture that is for question number 5, you can easily understand. So question 9 is similar to question number 5, but that image is different. If block came there, that's a different thing. Okay. So I will ignore this question from the evaluation and will give marks to everyone for this. So don't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Sanjit, right?
Yes, sir. So I have a doubt in the practices in 8th question, sir, week 2.
Week 2, question number 8, practice assignment, right?
Yes, sir.
Download this file only. Is my screen visible? This one?
No, sir. They're snipping to the
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So we already provide a solution for practice assignment. You can go through that also, but I will explain the
So for
question.
the
I
graded
don't understand. Sir.
Uh-huh. Yes, Saira.
so for the week 1 graded assignment, where will I get the answers actually?
Okay, for week 1 grade assignment, right?
Yeah.
It is not released yet. Let me check.
I got my scores, but I want the answers. So
Okay, so you got question number 5, marks for question number 5 as well, right?
No, sir, actually, not.
So how much it's showing? Except question number 5, all the questions are correct and it must show 100 marks.
Yes, sir. In that we received a mail regarding our scores. Sir.
Yeah, okay. So week 1, yeah. Okay, I think solutions is not released yet. I will release the solution, okay? So at the last, you can see supplementary content folder, right? So there I will release the solution for grade assignment, okay? After the session, you can check it, okay? So let me discuss this question. Question number 8, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 So we have a pseudocode here executed using scores data set, right? If you see a scorecard here, you can see name, gender, date of birth, city. So we have a card here. And also all the cards are data of all the cards are provided in a tabular format also. So if you just scroll down, you can see PDF, right? Scores.pdf. So all the card details have been provided in a tabular format. So you can use this particular table to solve the questions. Now let us discuss the question now. So we have a pseudocode given to us. So we have A, B, C, 3 variable all initialized to 0. While pile 1 has more card, okay, read the top card X in the pile 1. If mathematics is less than physics marks, okay. For example, for the first card, mathematics is less than physics marks. 68 is less than 64. No, right? And I will not do anything with this. Now go for a next condition because we are not going to update this one unless this particular condition is true. But mathematics marks is not less than physics marks here, right? For the first card number 0, I will not do. What about mathematics marks greater than physics marks? Yes, mathematics marks is greater than physics marks. So I will increment the value of B to 0 plus 1, that is 1, to C, 0 plus 1, that is 1. Okay. Mathematics marks is not equals to physics marks. I will move that particular card to pile 2. Then again, I will go for a next iteration for a next row. Okay. So in this way, I need to do for all the cards. Okay. But what will happen here? So when the value of A, B, C will get updated, whenever the mathematics marks is less than physics marks, the value of A, B, C will get updated, right? This you understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Whenever the mathematics marks is less than or greater than physics marks, then B and C will get updated only. But whenever the mathematics marks is equals to physics marks, then only C will get updated. Okay? Increment. So this thing is clear. This condition and this ABC.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now let's discuss the question now. What is the value of C minus A represent? So C means what? Number of students who got mathematics marks equals to physics marks. Can I say like this?
No, sir.
Why?
So even C is getting incremented in the above.
Yes,
table.
yes, yeah.
Yes, sir.
About 3, right? Okay. So what I can say about C then, number of student, irrespective of the condition, C is getting increment. It is less than also, C is incrementing, greater than also, C is incrementing, or it is equal, C is getting incrementing, right? So C, for example, I have a 30 cards in the PDF. So C will get increment for 30 times, right? Can I say like this? Because anywhere it can be less than or greater than or equal to the marks, right? So every time the value of C will get updated, increment. What about A? A is only in the first condition itself. So here I can say A means what? Number of student or number of cards in which mathematics marks is less than physics marks. Can I say like this for A?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you understood what is C and what is A is, so C minus A will be what? In C, all the number of students will be their number of cards, and A is number of student in which mathematics marks is less than physics marks. So when I say C minus A, so all the student minus number of student in mathematics greater than physics. So what will the answer? Let's see. Option number one. Number of students whose mathematics marks are at least as much as physics marks. So what does at least mean here? Mathematics, we have physics. At least means what?
Minimum.
Yeah, this should be less than or equal to, right? Greater than or equal to. So greater than or equal to. So at least 5. When I say at least 5, it means the value of that particular will be 5, 6, 7 or any number. But at least 5 must be there. So 5. That is greater than or equals to. So mathematics marks greater than or equal to physics marks. Can I say like this? From
Yes.
C minus A? Because C is number of students, basically all the cards. And I am subtracting the student whose mathematics marks is less than physics marks. So ultimately what I will get, mathematics marks either greater than physics marks or equal to physics marks, right? If I subtract this much student from the C, because C is all the student, right? So option A is correct here. What about option number B? Tell me now. At most, right? At most means what?
Less than or equal to.
At most 5 means what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Up to 5 only. At most 5, right? So mathematics marks less than or equals to physics marks. Is it correct?
No, sir.
Because I already subtracting mathematics marks less than physics marks, right? So this will not be correct. What about option number C? Physics marks at least as much as mathematics marks. At least same, right? So physics marks at least as much as mathematics marks, right? So both are the same condition actually, right? Greater than or equals to, here it is physics, right? Physics at least as much as same mathematics marks. So this is also not true. What about this number of students whose physics marks at most as much as mathematics marks? So physics marks at most as mathematics marks, right? So physics marks is less than or equal to mathematics marks, right? So this is what B and C will do, right? If I same thing, if you see this condition is similar to first condition itself, right? Just the at least and at most and physics and mathematics is interchange. So mathematics is at least as physics, and here physics is at most as mathematics. Basically, both are same condition only, right? Okay. Any doubt in this question now?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, great. Yes. Any other doubt? Anyone?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Huh?
Sir, in assignment 2.6, sir, non-graded,
Okay.
there's this question in uh, the final value of max is 6. How many times was it updated during the course of the program? Why is it at most 6 times and not exactly 6 times, sir?
Yeah. Activity 2.6. Which question number? 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me take this question. So this question is okay. One question first. Screenshot. Okay, this question, right? So consider a new version of a paragraph words dataset that has 100 words in it. Assume that we have figured out the count of all the unique words in this dataset in one iteration. Okay. After this, we initialize a variable max to 0. So we have a variable max equals to 0. This is used to find the count of most frequently occurring word. We can okay. We now perform a second iteration over the unique words in any order to compute the value of max. Okay. So final value of max is 6. How many times was it updated during the course of a program? So the condition is clear to everyone, like this question. We have 100 words in it and we have figured it out, like counts of all unique words in the data in one iteration. Okay. So for example, there are six one, right? So after this, we initialize variable max to 0. We used to find the count at most frequently occurring word. Count of most frequently occurring word. Okay. Suppose I have a was in the particular sentence or paragraph. So if this particular word is occurring most number of times in the paragraph, then I will count this particular word. Okay. So how many times it is appearing? So final value of max is basically 6. Now how many times it will update to the course program? So your doubt is what? Why it is not 6, right?
So I'm asking, why is it not exactly 6 times?
Okay. So exactly 6 times, no, at most 6 times will be there. How, right? So assume that what we have count all unique words in the data set in one iteration. Okay. And after this, we have initialized a variable called max to 0. This is used to find the count of most frequently on account of all unique words in the data set. Okay. After this, we initialize the variable max to 0. This to find the count of most frequently occurring word. Okay. All unique words in any order to compute the value of max. Okay. So for example, we have 100 words, and out of which we have unique words is, for example, 90, right? And in one iteration after this, we initialize variable to max to 0. This is used to find the count of most frequently occurring word, right? Yeah. And the value of max is 6. How many times updated during the course of the program? Updated. So we need to find out the value of max. It is updated, right? At most. If it is unique, then yeah, maximum 6 way. So many ways what it is 6 in final, right? Yeah, we need to see exactly 6 times or at most 6 times, right? If all the values we can say, yeah, then it is 6 times, but at most 6 times it is less than 6 times also, right? So can it be it is less than 6 times also the updated of in the course of program?
Sir, if a word is repeating 6 times, then it's repeating exactly 6 times.
6
Sir.
times.
So max is 6. That means exactly 6 times.
Right. Because word is repeated 6 times, we at most, because we are not counting it out, right? So we have to get all unique words data and one iteration. After this, we initialize variable called max to 0. Yeah. Yes, I will check on this. Okay. So exactly 6 times or at most 6 times. Yeah. In the Saturday session, I will discuss this. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Good doubt actually. Yeah. We'll think about this. Something is missing. I guess we need to mention that. Otherwise, it should be a 6. So yeah. Okay. Any other doubt? Anyone? From any practice assignment or grade assignment question? Grade means week 1 grade assignment questions. Okay, so please submit week 2 assignment, okay? Because for exam, I guess, okay, I don't think the rule for you, but first 2 weeks are mandatory to submit the assignment, okay? So please submit the assignment before 19th.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Any other doubt, anyone? From any one of the, any week 1, week 2, any question, any concept? So please use the data set, okay? So whatever we have discussed, all the questions belong to a common data set. So just go through that. Okay, I think we don't have enough questions. So yeah. So thank you everyone. Thanks for joining. We'll catch up in the Saturday session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.